The biggest question I get from consumers is, what's the difference between 1, 2, and 3LT? Well, I have plenty of cars here to show you exactly what all you get. Yes, I'm super excited to show you all of these 1, 2, and 3LT cars. I have 1, 2, and 3 GT seats here. I have convertibles, I have red interior, I have tan interior. I have everything on this showroom floor, including this really rare front engine 2021 Corvette. Oh wait, that's a Chevy Spark, never mind. We're not gonna pay any attention to that. I wanna take back talking crap about the Spark because Joel here, one of our sales managers, bought the car and he's a little offended by that. So sorry, Joel. Now I have made a really simple list for you to go over to see exactly what you get in these trim levels. I've got it on ChevyDudeStore.com in the digital download section, and of course it's free. Let's get right into it. This is a 1LT Elkhart Lake Blue metallic car, and there's really nothing you can look on the outside with the exception of 2 features to know that if it's a 1LT or above. We're going to talk about that in a second. So in a nutshell, your trim levels have to do what's on the inside of the car, not the outside. So when we hop in here, you can see right away we got the 8-way power GT1 seats. Yes, we got 8-way power seat here, and then the GT1 seat has got that long headrest. That's right away what you can tell which seats you have. And the differences between those seats really is only the side bolsters here and here. And I've done videos on this in the past, and you can go watch those after this video. But yes, right here and here and here are the only differences on a GT1 to a GT2 seat. Keyless access is standard on all the trim levels. So basically, if you have the key on you, you have the door handle right here, and you just walk up to it and it unlocks for you. And as silly as this sound, you do have push button start standard on the 1LT as well. So I do have the car in accessory mode, so please don't say anything about that check engine light on the car. But yes, you have all sorts of different cool modes on the car. So to start all the way to the left, we got weather mode. We do one click to the right, we have my mode, which is completely customizable. We have touring mode, which gives you the softest ride that the car offers. We have sport mode, which is for spirited driving and where you get a little bit stiffer steering wheel, stiffer suspension. And then we have track mode, which is made for the track. This is going to give you the stiffest suspension, stiffest steering, and is designed to only be used on the track, not the surfaces. I don't know if this is official or not, but I did have a product trainer tell me that if you use that stiff suspension on the roads with all the potholes and such, that you could actually damage the car. Now, the product trainers aren't always the most reliable, but they're also the ones with the most knowledge as well. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but be careful. Dual zone electric climate control is the next thing that you get on the 1LT, and that's all in the center stack here. Down here is your climate control for the passenger. Up here is for the driver, and then these guys are all of your interiors of where you want it to go, the fan speed, the auto, all that good stuff. Just over here we have the locking glove box. Yes, every time that you lock the car, this locks and the center console locks, so it's super nice. You have valet mode as well inside your settings, and you can lock that too if you give the key to someone during a valet transaction. But yes, it's super nice that that locks every single time you get out of the car. The next thing we get is the HD rear vision camera and park assist. So you can see that we've got the nice HD camera. When I turn that steering wheel, the park assist goes, and we also have sensors, which you can see that that orange triangle is telling me, hey, there's something right here, don't back up any further. Great option to have. The next thing that we got in this vehicle that I wasn't too sure on when I got my car was the leather wrapped square steering wheel. I'll tell you what, this square steering wheel is an amazing thing. And now when I get into a car with a circle steering wheel, it's very difficult and it's a weird feeling. This steering wheel is absolutely amazing when you're driving this car, especially when you're on the track. There are 2 types of Bose audio system. This one is a 10 speaker system, and you'll see the differences between the 10 and the upgraded system there. But on the 1LT, this is actually all black here, which is super nice. And that's one way to tell if you have a 10 speaker system or the upgraded system. The next feature that we have that's standard is XM Sirius radio. You get 3 months of XM Sirius radio, and that leads us into this nice display. This is an 8-inch diagonal color touchscreen screen and Chevrolet Infotainment System 3. Absolutely amazing. And then we also run over to the 12-inch display driver information center. Again, we're on accessory mode. That's why we have the check engine light. And then back to the steering wheel, we have all of the mounted controls up here, Bluetooth connection and wireless phone projection. We have power windows up and down express for the driver and the passenger. Ladies would like this, maybe some guys too. We have lighted vanity mirrors on the driver and the passenger side. And then the steering wheel is power tilt and telescopic, which is super nice to get comfortable in here. And then you can't really see it. You have to get under the front trunk, but this has got an advanced cabin air filter filtration, which is pretty nice because I'm shooting this on the first day of spring, and yeah, the allergies are kicking in for Chevy dude. And let's hop into the 2LT. I have this used 2LT car here available. If you're looking for a car, this one is still available. It's the only car I've got available. But the 2LT is, in my opinion, the perfect trim level to get. I mentioned it earlier that there is a way to tell from the outside if you have a 1 and a 2LT. So when you come to 2LT, the only outside differences you get is these forward-facing cameras up here. So if you're looking at a car and you see those cameras, you know right away that you have at least a 2LT and maybe a 3LT. The next way is looking at the digital rear view mirror camera right there. If this has this up there rather than being flat like this, you know you have at least a 2LT car. Now that is only good for coupes. On a convertible, you get that digital rear view mirror on every single trim level, 1, 2, and 3LT. So on a 1LT convertible, you're gonna have that camera. And that is the only exterior differences between a 1 and a 2LT. The rest is on the inside. The very first thing that you get in the 2LT, it's tough to see with that motorcycle in front of us, is that heads-up display. All right, there we've got it focused. And anyone who's had a heads-up display loves these things. The heads-up display on this is really, really awesome because when you hit the info button, you get different readouts. This is kind of like more of the, you know, like the sport kind of mode, giving you that you're in the gear, what RPMs, your lateral G's, and your mile per hour. Then you hit that P again, and this is definitely the track mode with your shift points at the top, your gear selection, and your mile per hour. And then you're kind of back to the touring mode, which gives you your miles per hour. The gear you're in, that little white box with the dashes, are the speed limit for the road that you're on. The next thing you get is the power lumbar and power wing adjustment. Now I'm looking at a GT3 seat, but the GT1 seat is still standard in the 2LT. And in a nutshell, you just get this extra button over these two buttons on the 1LT. So it adjusts the lumbar and the wings, which is this right here. Depends on GT1, GT2, GT3 seats, how big these are. But yes, that's what it adjusts, and the lumbar right here. And then right behind those seats is the wireless charging for your capable phone. Yes, you get wireless charging in this, and in 2021 we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that's wireless too, so you can just kind of throw your phone back there and everything goes right through the screen wirelessly. The HVAC system looks very similar to the 1LT, but there are a couple different extra buttons, and that would be these guys right here. Yes, you get heated seats and ventilated seats, and they're not working because I have it in accessory mode, but heated and ventilated seats for both the driver and the passenger. So in the 1LT, these are just kind of like a black bar right here, blank, nothing on it, no buttons, and that's what goes there when you move to the 2LT. Also, the coolest feature that I love is the heated steering wheel right here as well. I absolutely love this, as my car is a daily driver. Having the winter time, having that heated steering wheel is super nice. It comes on quick, it heats up, and the goofy thing is that it shuts off after a little bit of time. You have to turn it back on. I like to have my whole half-hour drive to work with that heated steering wheel on, but yes, very nice feature there. And then we move to the 14 speaker Bose system, and I did a video on this. I'll link in the info card above, talking about where all 14 speakers are. It's absolutely crazy that we have 14 speakers, but I think if I remember right, this is the most speakers in a two-door, two-passenger car that Bose has ever done. 14 speakers with this Performance Series, and it's absolutely amazing. So you automatically know you have the Performance Series when you have the aluminum type trim right here, and you can see that it says Bose Performance Series right there as well. In your radio, you have navigation, which is a dying thing. You got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you can just use Waze or Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever you like. But you do have navigation standard with traffic updates, performance data recorder, which is absolutely awesome. It doubles as a dash cam, which is good and bad. It's a kind of a narrow view for a dash cam, but it does give you some information on there for dash cam stuff. And then you have 1 year of XM radio where you only have 3 months on the 1LT. And then you have the universal home remote up here, which is tough to see because it's so dark in here. There we go. We lighten that up a little bit, but you have the universal home remote up here for your garage doors or security gates, anything like that. And then when you move to a 2LT, you also have the power folding and mirrors, which is super nice to have when you're going into a garage or anything like that. And inside those mirrors, you have the blind spot indicators. Kind of tough to see, but right below that white light on the mirror is a little car icon with what looks like a Wi-Fi signal to another car icon. This is absolutely perfect because this kills every single blind spot except for one in the car. And I've talked about it in the past. The only blind spot that you have is if you are setting straight like this and you are on an angle road. So say that road is not coming straight in front of us, but it's more coming like going towards that door. The only blind spot you have is when you're looking right here on an angled road that I found. I got 24,000 miles in my car, so I have a lot of time behind it. But in a nutshell, with the digital rearview mirror and the blind spot indicators, my head is only moving like this or like this. I don't have to do anything else. And that right there, my friends, is worth the money going to a 2LT. And one of the reasons why I say the 2LT is your best bang for your buck on the car. You also get the rear cross traffic alert. So when you put it in reverse and somebody were coming from either way, there'd be a little arrow saying, hey, there's movement over here. You also have that, I forgot to show that on the last 1LT, that's standard on all of the vehicles. And we mentioned those curb view cameras at the beginning of the 2LT section, and that's what they look like, which I've done videos on how every feature works. I've done a detailed video about this, so you can watch that as well. But super nice to have, and another reason why the 2LT is the best. And then that digital rear view mirror that I told you, I'll kind of show you the camera. You can see me recording, boom, there it goes. And again, because I'm indoors and I have this like silly $high camera, it actually hinders me from showing some of these features, but you can kind of see the back there, and it's absolutely perfect when you're on the road that you can kind of see everything about behind you. It's super awesome. And then the last thing that you get in the 2LT is the advanced security system. That would be this button right here to shut it off. So if I get out of my car, I hit this button, what's going to do is tell me the motion sensor is off. So what the advanced security system does, in the event that somebody is trying to like lift the car to take the wheels, or the car is moving back and forth on a truck, when the car is locked, it actually would set the alarm off. So if somebody tries to lift up and steal the car, anything like that, if they put their arms in the windows, like they bust out a window and they put their arms in, sets the alarm off. Somebody's sitting in it, dogs, stuff like that, that's what happens. So if you shut that off, it actually disables that and makes it real simple. It's really similar to the C7 advanced security system, no difference. And then the last thing you get when you move to a 2LT is these nice parcel nets. This is for the front, this is for the rear trunk, so you have nets that can come back here in the front. Super nice, super convenient to have. And then we get to move to the 3LT. I'm going to use this sexy red mist metallic, a new color for 2021, because it also has the natural dipped interior in it as well. There's very few things that you get in the 3LT, and the very first thing you get, which is really $1,500 of the price, is the GT2 seats. Now the GT2 seats are going to be the most popular seat, and just like the GT1, the only difference is you get the power lumbar and wing adjustment, because that's what you get in 2LT, but you have a little bit more aggressive side bolsters here, and then you also get the carbon fiber trim up here. Now this is an option in the 2LT, a $1,500 option, and then the 3LT, it's standard equipment. Outside that, the only differences that you get on the interior is a 3LT is the available colors and the way you can have it done. You also get more of the color than what you would get on a 2 and 3LT. So natural dipped is a little bit excluded because you get all of this natural in here. But on a 3LT, so say you went red, you would have this down here red and that glove box over there red, which is perfect to show on this 3LT convertible because this has got the red interior. So you can see the black right there where the natural dip was not. And then you have the red on the doors, you have the red under here, and then you have all the red on the passenger side, including that glove box there. Red stitching on 3LT. And then on the 3LT, you can see what is red right up here as well compared to what you get in natural dip. Now, I want to show you on this 2LT car over here because it's got the natural seats in it as well. This is a 2LT car. You can see what is natural and black there, and also on the inside that it's not all natural like it is on the 3LT. And then the other thing that you get is a upgraded leather interior. I'm at a 2LT car and it's gonna be tough to see. I'm trying to get the camera in there just right, but there is a little bit of a grain in the 2LT and the 1LT leather. And Chevrolet didn't skimp on the leather. This is all leather surfaces. It's super nice. There's no plastic in this car, but you can kind of see a little bit of that grain in there. When you go to a 3LT car, you get a fully upgraded leather and this becomes super smooth and super high quality. So in a nutshell, what I was explained is a 2LT and a 1LT back on the C7 was like a manufactured leather. It's real leather, but it's chopped down and remanufactured. And that's why it's got that pattern in there. So with the 3LT, it's cut out of one piece of hide. It's super high quality and it's super good. So that's your biggest difference. And the other big thing that I always get questions on the 3LT is people see that they get the suede interior. And a lot of people do not want suede on the seats or the steering wheel or up here. So what you get on the 3LT is the suede upper trim. So that would be your A pillars right here, your B pillars on a coupe, this right here on a convertible, and everything back here as well. Outside of that, and then of course up here and on the top, inside of the top of a 3LT as well. But outside of that, there's no other standard suede inside the car. You can see that the sun visors with the mirrors have it as well, but it's basically the A pillar, everything up here, the roof, and then the B pillar back here. And to do the Chevy due diligence, this is your GT1 seat, this is your GT2 seat, and this is your GT3 seat. And to give you a little bit of reference on the GT3 seat, I have nothing in my pockets. I'm 230 pounds, 6'3", and these bolsters are tight. They're comfortable, but they're tight. And I always recommend the same thing to every single person. Unless you're consistently racing this car, you do not want these seats. If it's a weekend fun car or a daily driver, you're gonna get tired of these seats really, really quick because they are designed for racing. The 2 and the 1 seats are perfect, but be careful with these seats. Which trim level is your favorite? 1, 2, or 3? We can talk about it in the comment section below. We can get more in depth with my videos. I started a Discord server, so join now and we can talk about anything that you have questions on.